Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gaming Instincts TV. We're doing something very special today. We are taking a look at E3, and it looks like the EA press conference is about to start. So without further ado, I'm going to make some introductions. My name's Luke. I'm the video producer here on Gaming Instincts TV, or one of them. With me is Adam. How are you, Adam?
Doing good. I'm ready to get EA'd again.
Yes. And we have somebody new joining us today. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Jeds. I also go by Nikolai, and I'm here to basically cover Ubisoft later on in the week, but I'm looking to see what EA is going to bring to us today.
All right. I'm going to unmute this stream for our stream. And here we go, guys. This is quite the intro.
Okay, yeah, EA really started off with a bang. Finally, like, some better look at Anthem.
That was Anthem.
Oh,
We're going to
so
talk
excited
about
to see
that a
what
little
they
bit
bring
later
to
in the
Anthem.
show. But welcome everybody to EA Play. I'm Andrea Renee, and while you might recognize me from the gaming community, I'm kind of a new face around here. So this year, EA wanted to change things up because they know that I'm both a gamer and a fan. So they invited me to come and host the
After
show.
that Battlefront
and I
2
think
release.
this year is going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I hope you're ready because we're about to kick the press conference off. But before we do that, EA Play is more than just the show you're about to watch. Right behind these doors, there is a fan fest outside, and it is huge this year. It's a full 3-day gaming festival where thousands of gamers can come and play games for free. Now, inside the theater here, there are hundreds of community members from all over the world who are going to be capturing, streaming, and getting their first impressions of the games that we're going to be showing off here today. But before we can get to that, we've got some reveals, of course. We're going to kick things off with a look at Battlefield 5 multiplayer. Now, I know Trevor Noah
I find myself very disappointed with the reaction of the internet when it came to the Battlefield 5 reveal.
Then we're going to move on to FIFA
I was kind of more
19,
focused on the gameplay, and I was
some
very
big
surprised
news, you
at
guys.
the
Any World
things
Cup
people had a
fans?
problem
You guys
with.
excited?
Yeah, I feel like,
It's gonna be
people
awesome.
complaining about historical
Then
accuracy.
we've got
I
two
don't think
new
Battlefield
indie
has
games
been
to
doing
share,
historical
and then I'm
accuracy
going to come
for,
back
what,
towards the end of the show
4 or 5
with some
titles
of my
now?
favorite developers to give you guys a nice
Not entirely. I
smooth
mean, with
look at
Battlefield 1,
Anthem.
they tried to
And of course,
like explore Lawrence
we
of
got the booze
Arabia
for
and a
Anthem.
couple
I'm into
other
it.
kind of
You wanna
well-known
do
figures
something?
from World War I, but obviously they dramatized it a little bit
Well, it wouldn't be fun,
and
you
you know
guys, if
blew
I
things out of
told you all the
proportion.
secrets at once,
But you
right?
know they try to have
Give them a break.
some
This is
semblance
just
of it.
a
But
great
yeah, if you
show.
want historical accuracy, go read a
So
book.
without further ado,
Yeah, I was
let's
going to say
get
they're
things
really doing
started.
historical fiction nowadays. With they took a lot of liberties with the gun designs. They were mostly experimental or never even produced
Exactly.
during the war
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like we're reaching into historical fiction at this point. Let's just take it for what it is.
And what I really liked about the Battlefield 5 trailer was the chick who had the prosthetic limb. It got me thinking, like, are we going to be able to customize like our own limbs and change them out? Like, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, that definitely sounds exciting.
Right, it's time to kick this thing off. It's been 2 weeks since the reveal of Battlefield 5. And you know what? It's been exciting, there's been a lot of speculation, and so many brilliant remixes of a reveal trailer. But there's also been lots and lots of questions from the community. And we've heard you want to see more gameplay innovations. You want to know how customization actually works, and you want to know more about our take on the Second World War. So today, we'll show you more gameplay and why this is the deepest.
And I may not be
and
the
most
biggest
immersive
Battlefield fan, but every
Yeah.
time they roll out a trailer and you get a
Certainly
first look at
is.
the locations and environments, I'm
You will
always
be able
kind
to
of in
dive
that
and smash
silent
through
awe for a
windows
moment.
to
Yeah,
surprise your enemies.
I agree.
Where previously defenses were stationary, you will now be able to
Um,
move these weapons
both
around on the
in,
battlefield and gain advantages. And our renowned destruction system is back and more impactful than ever. So, well, you can't
Oh,
really
that
hide
looks
from
good.
those
Okay.
pesky tanks anymore as they come
My
chasing
strategy
for you,
when I was in
as they
Face by
rip
Tank.
through those
That looks
buildings.
awesome.
And you will now be able to customize your soldiers, your vehicles, and your weapons, not only for the gameplay, but for the looks, as part of our portrayal of the Second World War.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg in Battlefield 5. You're going to see a lot more of our new gameplay.
I can only think of one
systems
location where it
here
was
at
snowing
EA
in World
Play
War II,
from our
during World War
community.
II, where there was
So
fighting going
let's
on.
talk about our single player in War Stories.
Yes, let's do that. So we want to tell
Do you guys ever play
about
through the
those
single player
untold
for Battlefield?
stories that got us
Oh yeah,
excited.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
It's about
I
probably-
liked what they
really
tried to
those
do
moments
with
of
Battlefield 1.
human heroism.
Yeah. I probably played
It
the
is
single
about
player in
witnessing
Battlefield
the war
games
through
more
the
than I
eyes
do
of
in
the
like
men
Call
and
of
the
Duty.
women who shaped the
Oh,
world
absolutely. Battlefield has much
Real
better
and-
single-player
real
campaign
and relatable
craftsmanship
people
than
facing
Call
the
of Duty has recently,
brutality
which
of
makes
war.
sense why Call of Duty's
We
scrapping their
started
campaign next
off
time.
by
Yeah.
exclusive look at the
Yeah, they
new
keep
war
dumping
story
big names
over
and
at the
actors and
Xbox
Hollywood names all
briefing
over Call of
tomorrow.
Duty, and
Thanks, Lasse.
people are still
Something
getting
not
bored of it
to
pretty
miss
quick.
Tomorrow. So, our launch in October is just the beginning. You will all go on an expanding journey through the Second World War. No
Wow,
loot
getting
boxes,
even more specific than
no
Battlefield
premium
2
pass.
now.
No loot
Battlefront 2.
boxes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Every day will bring something new. And as part of that journey, after launch, you'll get something I know a lot of you have been asking for.
Oh, wow.
Oh gosh.
No.
No. We don't need another.
It's Royale reimagined.
I mean, I guess we should give it a
So
chance
we bring
with
those
the
pillars of
AAA
Battlefield of
budget.
destruction,
Yeah,
team
Call of
play,
Duty's doing it, now
vehicles
they're doing
into
it.
This new experience.
This is either gonna make or
So
break the Royale
we
genre.
will
Oh,
bring you
they're always
experience
dancing the
that you
same
haven't
tune.
played
They
before
always dance the
in
same tune.
Battlefield
They have none of their own
or
identity at
anywhere
this
else.
point.
But more about that later this year.
So with that, it's time to show you what makes Battlefield so special. It's the unmatched intensity of our multiplayer sandbox, and this time, it's even more epic, fighting across multiple maps and modes. Welcome to your next Battlefield experience, and this is your first look at ground operations. And this time,
Oh,
Yeah.
we're making big innovations here, EA. Music and a battle royale. Just don't spoil me now.
I know,
Please
right?
don't spoil me now. I was actually going to say, you know, depending on how you play Battlefield, if you happen, especially if you're in a game where you have a really good pilot, I usually spawn on a pilot and drop out of a plane anyway. Not that that's all there is to the Battle Royale franchise, but that's probably what they're going to do here. Is now you automatically start with an airdrop.
Yeah.
I cannot deny how good that looks, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm really excited to see what they do with the fortification system. I love the fact that you can move emplacements now because that was
If
one
you
of the
can
biggest
move the
weaknesses
I
of
wonder if you can
Battlefield
be in the
titles.
placements while they're moving.
While they're moving, maybe. I wonder if you can use them.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like being able to have like a anti-air gun on the back of a Jeep.
Oh, that could be killer. Because that was one of the biggest weaknesses of the Battlefield, previous Battlefield series, is that most of the in-place weapons, like they had so many blind spots that they were practically useless, unless it was
Many
like that
blind
perfect
spots,
situation,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. Suddenly, baby stomach.
Ikke en dråpe. Jeg elsker deg.
Wow, that was a tone change and a half.
Yeah.
Wonder what they're gonna do with that.
Alright, well, Battlefield 5 looks amazing
Yeah, it
from
does.
an technical perspective.
É preciso determinação e vontade de vencer.
Well, I don't know if you guys are sports fans at all, but I am a diehard hockey fan, and the NHL game's always the unloved duck at EA's press conferences.
I know, right?
See, I've never like I'm not a big sports guy, but I've always enjoyed hockey games. So,
They're the only ones making them right now. If there was anyone else, I don't actually play it anymore because I kind of have gone on a little boycott of EA myself personally. But it sucks. I want to play a hockey game so bad, and they're the only ones doing it.
Yeah.
And the hockey games specifically get the least amount of attention and the smallest budget out of the pack. It's
Yeah,
got the smallest audience.
I've tried the FIFA games, and from a technical standpoint, they're freaking amazing. But man, you have to put a lot of time into them to like get good.
They've got to work on their netcode or dedicated servers. For me personally, with all the sports games, all the physics and mechanics in the world don't help when when the game plays so choppy online.
Yeah.
And I've played with like great connections on both sides, and it's still a inconsistent experience. But anyway, so this is all FIFA stuff? Big lights, music, trophy. Oh man. Are you guys amazed by the cup?
That's the UEFA Champions League, the pinnacle of club football, where the world's best clubs compete, and icons of the game like Gerrard and Cruyff cemented their legacies. The world's biggest league joins the world's game. And a special thanks to the legendary Hans Zimmer and LA's own Vince Staples for collaborating with us on the trailer. And I really love the trailer because it captures our epic vision for how the Champions League comes to life in FIFA 19.
I mean, was it just me, or did that look a lot like the trailer they showed last year?
Champions League is
I can't even
remember.
remember.
Before that.
They all blend together.
Biggest heroes,
I was going to say, that's kind of the thing with
Ronaldo
sports
and
games.
Neymar
Is
clap
every trailer inevitably kind of
and
has
it's the
to
place
look
where
very
champions
similar.
rise. And you've been asking for this for a long time, and we are thrilled that it's here. And that's why
Nice
we're
tongue
bringing
roll.
the Champions League across the game. There'll be an authentic Champions League tournament mode. Your club will chase this trophy in career mode. Alex Hunter will pursue Champions League glory in your story mode, The Journey, and in FIFA Ultimate Team, there'll be live and authentic Champions League content.
Did
And we'll
FIFA
share more
have, like,
details on that,
management
along with all our other
systems
Ultimate Team
too,
features
or was that
later
just
this summer.
Madden?
And all of that's just the
Like
beginning.
player
As
management?
you know, the
Yeah.
heart and soul of
Yeah,
FIFA is
I think they go through like
And this year, we're
probably
giving you the
even
tools to
greater
control the
depths
pitch
than the
in
other
every
games do when it
moment.
comes to
From
FIFA's
your tactical
customization and
approach
all
to the
that
match,
Okay.
each
management.
technical
Very cool.
touch.
I
And we
don't
know
play
how
anything else
passionate
other than the
you are about
NHL games, and I
gameplay,
haven't
so we
played
work
those in a
hard to
while.
shape and refine our vision.
But yeah,
for
as far as I
FIFA
know,
19
they give the
with
most
input
attention to
from our
FIFA, and it
community.
shows in everywhere.
From hands-on
Yeah.
tests with beginners.
Well, it's definitely
to
the most popular
detailed
for
feedback
obvious
sessions with
reasons
FIFA
worldwide,
pros.
you know?
And we're going to be sharing a lot more about gameplay throughout
Oh
the summer.
yeah,
But what
I
I can
mean,
tell you right now
football,
is
as
that
it's
the quality
called
bar
by
in
most
gameplay was
people,
raised
is
yet again this year.
like just a
So we look
dominant
forward
sport
to
in the world right
everybody
now.
Yep.
experiencing the game on the hands-on sessions this week. And also, of course, we're extremely excited for everybody to play it when we launch on September 28th. And that's our FIFA 19 news, headlined by the UEFA Champions League.
I think they were
But I
waiting
just
for
wanted
people to
take a
clap
minute
there
Yeah.
before,
to
and
pause
you
and
could just
reflect.
tell that like
Please
the
Stand
clap.
audience
next
isn't
to this
into it.
trophy is a
Yeah,
little bit
exactly.
surreal.
Please clap.
You know, growing
He
up,
recovered nicely though.
there's
Yeah.
two
Just kind of went
iconic
into the
trophies
next
that
thing.
every young player dreams of winning. And for your club, it's this one, the pursuit of Champions League glory. But for your country, it's this
What's
trophy,
wrong, you guys? Couldn't get that one on stage?
the World Cup. And with the tournament starting in just 5 days, we're excited for the world to compete for it in FIFA 18.
As you can imagine, all of us on the FIFA team can't wait for the start of the World Cup. And we want to celebrate with FIFA 18 players, which is why we've just updated the game with a free World Cup experience on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PS, PC, and Nintendo Switch. But you can take
Interesting.
Ronaldo and Portugal to their first World Cup victory. Or you can write your own story with some great nations who didn't qualify this year. Or you can make a crazy dream a reality for your home country, like mine, Iceland. Who would have thought that a nation of only 350,000 people would ever qualify? And you can feel their
I
excitement.
just wish I knew more about the whole thing so I could be stoked for it.
They do kind of come in assuming that you kind of know
Apologies to any
certain,
England
at least
fans
know
in
the
the
deal
room, I
by
might
now
still
with their
stink.
sports games.
Yeah.
Like I can
And
kind of
Lena
tell.
isn't the only one who's excited. FIFA 18 players are loving the World Cup experience so far. But we don't want to stop there. We want to invite everyone to come and
Hey,
join
Leo
the
says
celebration.
hi. What's up,
So
Leo?
I'm pleased to announce that for a limited time, FIFA 18 complete with the entire World Cup experience
Leo
is
in the
available
chat.
for a free trial on PlayStation 4.
Ah, sorry, I
and
have it full
Xbox
screen.
One,
I was
and on
actually,
PC through Origin Access.
Taking in all
You
this
can
detail here.
download and play the entire game right now for free. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So to kick off the trial, we've got some of the world's biggest creators who are going to be playing live at the end of the show, representing their nations in a little mini World Cup tournament.
And this summer will bring so much more for FIFA fans. Plenty of FIFA 18 content centered around the World Cup, and we'll bring you all the details on FIFA 19. But in the meantime, let's all enjoy the World Cup. Thank you, and auf Ravistan!
Oh yeah, I should probably mention Leo, who's right now in the chat, Gaming Instincts TV, of course, the channel owner and website owner, is on the ground floor right now at E3. We got people on the ground, folks.
On the biggest stage at the World Cup.
Good morning.
All right.
EA Sports, FIFA 19. You know, the FIFA community never rests. 20 million people from 60 countries playing in competitive leagues this year. Well, the FIFA team never rests either, bringing the Champions League and the World Cup and so much other greatness to FIFA this year. We can't wait for you to experience it all.
Okay, I blacked out there for a second.
We've got so much to do here today, but I want to welcome
Not like my
you
screen literally
to
blacked
EA
out.
Play.
Oh.
It's our third EA Play and our second one in Hollywood, and we couldn't be more excited to have you with us to share all the games that we have to show you. We've got lots to do, but before we move on, I'd like to share just a couple of things. The greatest disruption to the consumption of entertainment media in the last 5 years is the combination of streaming plus subscription. As consumers, watching movies, watching TV, listening to music, reading books has never been easier. And we believe that disruption is going to have a profound impact on our industry in the next few years. And so over the last couple of weeks, you will have seen that we announced a new team from Israel has joined Electronic Arts to help our investment to extend our thinking and extend our pioneering into this cloud gaming world. For many people, that's going to mean extending the experiences they already play on our partner platforms. For others, it's going to mean new games and new modalities of play across a whole variety of platforms. But for everyone, it's going to mean playing games anywhere, anytime. So this week we've got a tech demo running. All of our games streaming in HD from the cloud to multiple devices that you'll be able to try out for yourselves.
Can't say I'm all that surprised.
Now, it's not quite ready for full market prime time yet, but it is a promise of what we hope to bring you in the future. The second part of that, of course, is subscription. And we started subscription a number of years ago, and many millions of you have signed up and experienced the joy of being able to have full access to a great catalog of games. Today, we're announcing Origin Access Premier.
I had to know they were going to be trying to give this a second chance.
Origin Access Premier will bring you all of our new PC games, starting with Madden NFL.
Especially after, I think the last time they rolled out with it was Andromeda.
Yeah, I think the last time I played anything on Origin was
19,
Dead Space 3, and it was just so broken.
And there'll be many more titles in the years to come.
Like I couldn't connect with friends and stuff.
Our library of over 100 games from EA and other publishers.
That sounds about right. You didn't expect it to work on launch, did you?
Later this summer.
Yeah, true.
So that's a little later in the year, but if you want to get started right now and experience the benefits and joys
as a Mass
of
Effect
subscription,
fanboy,
come in and play a free trial of Origin Access, our base subscription this
Sounds
weekend.
like that's the general consensus.
Thank you and have a great show.
I don't want to get too into it right now, but I actually thought it was a lot better than the internet. I don't think it's nearly the worst game of all time, like some people have said.
Me too, for sure.
But it has its flaws.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's exactly how I felt. I felt that it was it screamed potential, wasn't as bad as the hype made it out to be, but was ultimately not on par with like Mass Effect.
Oh wow, they actually! I was surprised they used Andromeda in that this supercut here. Need for Speed.
Hey everybody, what's up? So I'm here sitting inside the crowd at EA Play, and I just happened to find Mr. Vince Zampella here in the audience.
Happened to find him.
Yep.
What's going on, Vince? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I love this stuff. I love seeing new games.
I mean, someone's super excited about that man on PC, right? Yeah.
Please
So,
clap.
you guys may have seen that Vince was tweeting yesterday, and there has been a bunch of speculation. So, you want to just get right to it?
Sure. I mean, we're not ready to show all of our stuff yet. We're working on a bunch of stuff. It's amazing. The teams are kicking ass. But we wanted to bring a little tidbit. So we've been working with Lucas on getting the name and kind of the setting for what our Star Wars game is going to be, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Oh, you guys got any guesses? I bet you the internet is going wild
Probably
right now.
not in the way EA hopes either.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars name is
Unfortunately.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Woo! So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you some idea that you'll be playing a Jedi.
Really?
This
So
delivery
does that mean I get to, like,
is... is it just me, or is this a very awkward delivery?
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts.
I don't know. I
So
mean, I
Vince,
would
you
imagine
got
though
anything
bringing
else?
up a Star Wars
Well,
game
it takes
at
place
an
during
EA
the dark
press conference
times.
is probably
Trying to be a
super
little vague
nerve-wracking
here,
right
but
now.
When the Jedis are
Yeah,
being
for
hunted,
sure.
so it's going to be spectacular.
So for all the,
I am
like, the
interested to see
hardcore
what they
nerds
do
out
with the
there who
Jedi
want to know like
title, 'cause,
where
like,
in the
the old Jedi
timeline,
titles,
like
like Jedi Knight
between
and
which
Jedi Academy
episodes
were
is it?
solid game
Between 3
back
and
in the day.
4.
But
Okay, all right. Between
giving it to
3
someone
and 4,
like
that sounds like a
Respawn
nice time.
could go
You got
really, really well.
Any
or
other
it
tidbits?
could go really
It's
well.
not a nice.
It's a dark time.
It's a dark time.
I hope they're a little
Bad
more
time. Does that mean it's
confident
gonna just be all
behind
dark
closed
and
doors
serious?
than
It's
in public right now.
All right, so I think people are now anxiously want to know, like, when can we play the game?
It will be holiday of next year, 2019, not this year.
So, sorry to dash any hopes.
No.
But now that we know, we can set expectations. We're all going to be amped up, and hopefully we'll hear more from you maybe next year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Vince, it was great to see you. Thanks for stopping by the show today. We do have a little bit more news on Star Wars, so I'm going to toss it over to Dennis.
Oh yeah.
boy.
No shame. Give them. They have no shame.
Yep.
Hello there.
And that
My
man
name
has
is
balls
Dennis.
to stand on a
I work
stage
at
with that
DICE
game
in
name behind
Stockholm.
him.
Yeah, he
Star
does.
Wars Battlefront
Gotta
2.
hand it to him.
I'm really
admire him
happy
for
and
that
excited to be
alone.
here today, so thank you so much for hanging out
He
with
looks
me
like he's
for a little
waiting to
bit.
get hit with something.
So we launched our game in November of last year, and clearly we didn't get it quite right.
Wow, that's
So
admittance
instead of
right
coming
there.
out
Yeah.
of the gate sprinting,
I
like we really
am proud of
wanted
you,
to,
yeah.
we had
I
to take
truly
a step
am.
back and make sure that we were delivering the game that our players really wanted. So we decided to completely overhaul our progression system and add a bunch of new character cosmetics for players to collect instead.
Okay.
So from there,
Yeah, Leo, it
we
was.
added a new hunt mode inspired by the original Battlefront games that I loved personally, starting with the Ewoks on Endor. And thank you. It turned out to be by far the most popular update of the game, and the team loved building Ewok Hunt. So, as you might know, we're currently in our Han Solo season with content from the movie coming next week. It's headlined by the new planet Kessel, a really dangerous place, and it features the return of one of our favorite modes, extraction. So looking forward a little bit, this summer we will be introducing a new squad system to the game, which will allow you to team up much easier and play with your friends. We're also adding a new starfighter mode focused around dogfighting with your hero ships. And looking ahead a little bit more, we will also be delivering a new large-scale multiplayer sandbox experience focused around capturing command posts and attacking and taking out capital ships. But that's not all. We know that you have been asking for new heroes, villains, and planets from a certain era that features a very iconic Star Wars conflict. So I'm excited to confirm that Battlefront 2 this year will be going deep into the Clone Wars.
Oh, that could be good.
Interesting.
I'm paying attention now.
They
It's only
clearly
fitting
aren't
that we
abandoning
begin on the
ship,
planet
which
Geonosis,
I
featuring
have
multiple
to say is
levels,
commendable.
including the largest level we have ever
The
built
Division
for
turned
Battlefront.
itself around and salvaged its crappy launch.
So let's talk about the heroes and villains. First,
Like EA
let me
and Battlefront
introduce
can do that. I believe that it's possible.
The most powerful, the leader of the most powerful droid army in the galaxy,
the hole is
General
bigger
Grievous.
for them.
And yes, he will be going up against my own personal favorite, Jedi Master
I gotta
Obi-Wan
admit though,
Kenobi.
putting Grievous on screen there like that, if there is a favorite Star Wars fight for me, it was Obi-Wan and versus Grievous.
But we're not done. That's not it. They will not come alone. Joining them is the Dark Lord
leave him up
and
on
leader
screen.
of the Separatist Alliance, Count Dooku, as well as someone to bring balance to the Force, Obi-Wan's unruly Padawan, Anakin Skywalker. The team at home is extremely excited to be building all of these cool things. EA and DICE are committed to Battlefront. We had a rough start, but I really think that this game has a bright future. Thank you very much for playing the game, providing us with your feedback, talking to us. Together, we will make this the greatest game that we can possibly build. There would be no Battlefront without you. So thank you, may the Force be with you, and enjoy the rest of E3.
I would dearly like to believe that is an apology from EA, but I also feel like Disney might have made a phone call or two. Okay, and what is this?
I mean, if Papa Disney makes a phone call and makes them fix it, I'm fine with that.
Oh. Right on.
I'm digging the art style.
This is this, what's this game called?
I feel like I've seen this character before, or at least the design. But not quite with with these graphics.
Unraveled? Is that it? Maybe?
Hi, it's really good to see you. In Unravel, we used yarn to symbolize love and the bonds between people. In our new game, we tear that bond up right at the start. You lose everything, including your spark. But when things are at their darkest, you find hope. And you form a new bond. And your spark is rekindled.
Aww.
And it leads you off on an adventure.
The first Unraveled was actually really good.
So welcome to Unravel 2.
Was it did it look anything like this?
It's a side-scrolling puzzle-solving platformer.
It's a game about fresh starts and second chances.
I'll give it a look.
These two little souls who refuse to give up and who build something new and beautiful together. And the whole game is inspired by that spirit of optimism and togetherness. You see, it's all made to be played with two characters. You can play it alone, or you can play it in co-op with a friend, but there's always two characters there, sharing one yarn and working together to get through this adventure. This game, it's quite different from the first. It's both friendlier and more challenging, but above all, it's a lot more playful. And we think it's a worthy successor.
I feel a little happier just looking at it, if I was totally honest.
Yeah.
It is very uplifting to look at.
This is wholesome, I think.
So a producer at Coldwood. And we're going to try to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about how you can play the game in co-op with yourself, essentially.
Very pretty.
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away just by technically.
So when you're playing it by yourself, you can essentially pick up the other character and carry them along through the more fast-paced segments of the game.
Whoa, why are there people there?
And we actually tried to include a bit more of those because we figured that since it's a co-op game, we wanted to have more like thrill and danger and kind of wow moments. Places that were like fun and exciting. And then when you get to the more puzzly areas like this, when you're problem solving, you can split apart into two and switch back and forth between the two characters. Because that's how we've essentially designed all the problems and puzzles of the game, that you're always working together and helping each other out and utilizing this bond between you to overcome any obstacle that you come across. So I guess I'll jump in at this.
Yeah, come join. So I'm gonna be the
Okay, I'm honestly almost sold already. This is I was not expecting this.
If you haven't checked out the first one, check it out.
Celebratory flip there.
Yeah, totally. This is awesome. Is there as much focus on co-op in the first one too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, playing it safely now.
Oops.
I'll swing.
All right.
Nice. And I'll catch you.
There you go. Can I swing now?
Okay, you go ahead. So here it goes.
Oh.
Okay, this is the scary part. Let's see if we can do it. Got it? Oh, very nice.
This is the hungriest chicken ever.
Right?
Like, damn.
Give me that yarn.
Okay.
Wow, he knew where they were going.
Look
at him.
I'll sneak up here.
Creeping.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah, look at me. There you go.
That's cool.
Keep him over to the left.
Yeah, I really like the mechanics of like having to work together to distract the threats.
The thread is just dangling right there, like inches from the beak. That is surprisingly intense.
Yeah.
Now we can breathe again.
Yeah, finally.
Or can we?
Uh-oh.
He remains undeterred.
So that's a quick little look at Unravel 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really hope you like it. And before I go, I just want to send some love to the team back home, because working on this game has been
they earned it. That was
completely amazing.
That put me in a very good mood.
So many levels, and everybody has worked so
yeah,
hard.
I'm very interested in that game.
There's a bunch of us from Coldwood here, and thank you to those, and thank you to everybody back home, and thank you. Love you.
Hello.
Also, this gives me really high hopes for the soundtrack that they're going to be doing for the game.
Yeah.
Like hearing the gameplay sound with like the violins and the cellos, and then the trailer audio, like this could have, like, this screams like best soundtrack.
Yeah, before, when he was talking over the gameplay, I was actually trying to listen to the music in the background, because it was surprisingly very good, which is weird in an EA game. You usually don't see that much focus on soundtracks.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you, Martin.
That was a good presentation, a good trailer. I mean,
really strong. These guys have done an amazing job, and it's clear that they have a lot of passion, and I can't personally wait to play Unravel 2 with my kids. But what's even more amazing is that we will make Unravel 2 available to everyone today. Yep, you heard that right. You'll be able to take these two Yarnies on their next big adventure starting today. The game is finished, it's out.
Oh, someone in the background.
So thank you, Martin, and thank you to the team at Coldwood. Back in 2015, we started on this journey with the original Unravel. to seek out the most creative, independent developers and bring them into our EA Originals program. It's been our way of helping these creators bring their unique games to the world and to tell their stories. And last year, if you remember, Joseph Fares was up here on stage representing his team at Hazelight and The Way Out.
Yeah, I remember.
I think we all kind of remember that.
I remember it very clearly. I don't think he does, though.
As well. I think I did. Anyhow, in March, that game caught fire. It's innovative, it's fun, and it's something fresh and new, and you all loved it. We saw over 2 million players in the first 2 weeks. And A Way Out is such a huge success that Joseph and his team are expanding and moving into a new studio. So stories like this drive our industry, and it's why we will continue to work with independent developers to help them realize their dreams. Which leads us to our next EA Originals title, from a little game studio in Berlin called Joe My Games. When I met this team and I saw the game, I was instantly drawn to how personal this story was. It's one that carries a very powerful and important message. And it's unlike anything
I'm really feeling that the
we've ever
EA
done.
Originals are going to be the
So
hidden
please
gems,
welcome Connie Gafford to the stage from Joe My Games to
EA's
tell you more about
section of the
Sea of
conference.
Solitude.
Yeah.
I was actually talking about that with some people from the site, about how, you know, specifically saying, remember A Way Out, I'm kind of expecting, you know, something else similar to that.
Patrick.
But didn't expect them to actually make it a highlight.
I still remember during the pitch how enthusiastic Patrick was, and that afterwards, like, our whole team, including me, were super excited. It actually feels a little bit the same right now. I'm pretty excited, maybe a little too excited.
Maybe a couple of drinks too, maybe.
Thank you. We are Yomai, a
Must have taken
small
one from
indie
Joseph.
studio from Berlin, and we are developing Sea of Solitude, or SOS as we call it. The whole journey from the very first concept to actually becoming a part of EA Originals is simply amazing. Let me tell you more about our game. When humans get too lonely, they turn into monsters. This is at the core of everything you will see, hear, and hopefully feel while playing SOS. What makes this underlying concept so important and so unique is that nearly every human being can at least somehow relate to or remember the feeling of being lonely. In my case, I started writing the story when I felt the loneliest in my life. I think as an artist, you process your emotional world by letting it out and putting it into your art. I'm still amazed how like the concept seems to just float out of me, like right into the hand and onto the paper. I think this is also why so many people can instantly connect with the game, because it's not a made-up story, even though that it takes place in a fantastic setting. In SOS, we try to show how people experience different kinds of loneliness, but also how outsiders, friends, and family see those who struggle. We achieve all this in playful ways so that players who want to simply enjoy a fantastic experience can do so. But player who wants to look a bit deeper can reveal a whole emotional world beneath it all. Sea of Solitude is about a young woman named Kay who is suffering from such strong loneliness that her inner feeling, the darkness, the anger, the hopelessness, worthlessness, turns to the outside and she becomes a monster. The game is about finding out why this happened to her, but also how to turn her back into a human. Ultimately, the goal is to bring all those emotions into balance. Some needs to become bigger, some would be better off a little smaller, but to embrace even your destructive part or your self-doubt in the same way you embrace your joy or your hope. This is what being human is all about. And that's what our game is all about. Thank you.
That's a cool concept.
It's hard not to be like hopeful when she's that passionate about it.
This world that I live in is empty and cold. The loneliness cuts me and tortures my soul. I'm no child of destiny.
Wow, the mood and atmosphere change very quick.
I've just chased you so long now. I'm too weak to run. A new day is here, but nothing is new. Alone in my room, I tremble.
I mean, for what it's worth, it's very impressive. I really like the level design.
Yeah, I like the art style a lot too.
Yeah, the art style definitely has a good hook to it.
Yeah, I'm the one. But I'm not the only one. We are the one. We can shut you down, and we can put you on an island. Crossover.
All right, well, we're just gonna jump right into basketball after that, huh?
Yep, I guess
okay.
so.
Unraveled, Sea of Solitude, and then basketball.
Yep.
Because we're coming at you with the
nice continuity shift. Definitely a not a non sequitur at all.
Trust the process.
Very well constructed.
Like, I'm actually not even fully taking this in right now because of what I was just watching. This is like totally the opposite.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. I'm just like so tuned out.
Exactly. I'm very tuned out. I'm like adjusting.
Just remember though, wherever you call home, whenever you're fit, or however you ball.
Well, the little bit of basketball games I played were usually the street games, so I like that they are bringing more attention to like the street side of things. So I know they recently dropped back.
And this is my squad.
I won't say it's enough for me to go out and get the game, but more modes are always better, and I always did like NBA Street.
The only goal of mine is really to win the Madden belt.
Kid's been going after that belt since 2016. At some point, he's going to need to get out of this quarterfinal and claim a major.
It's a big night for young Kiv. He's been stuck at the quarterfinals.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. Just I don't know. I'm just kind of blown away with the tonal shift that this conference.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I'm trying to power through it. I'm trying to power through it and just be like.
They shouldn't have like waited.
If there was a time to have someone march out and talk for a minute, it was between Sea of Solitude and the NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to just talk about what's on screen, but I'm still not adjusted yet. I'm totally tuned out. Totally tuned out.
I mean, it's Madden. They did the same thing last year, didn't they? Where they showed the like Madden Cup, quote unquote, like before they showed off the new Madden game.
If they did, I missed it. I don't think I watched EA all the way. I think I got in towards like the second half of EA's press conference last year.
Okay, baby, how you doing?
I've been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
Wow, already starting. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Juju Smith-Schuster from the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you guys can see, king of touchdown celebrations.
I guess, dude, I'm still in Sea of Solitude right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
As you guys know, this is Young Kid. Yeah. Madden 18, Madden champion. Like, give it up for Young Kid, y'all. Give it up. Young Kid. How has it been, your success and your path, to where you're at today?
It's, I've always been a competitor. When I was in high school, I was playing baseball, I hurt my arm. So then I picked up Madden, and at first, I was really bad. I was getting blown out online, but I kept at it. I put more and more time into it. Eventually, I made my first tournament, but I had a big decision. It was the same time as my graduation.
Wow, okay. So the key to be the #1 player in Madden is to hurt your arm in baseball. That's number one. Number two, you said you had the decision to go to your graduation or go to the tournament. So, like, what did you do?
I mean,
chased
I
that
don't
money.
blame
I still got my
him
diploma,
because
but I chased
have
that
you ever
money.
been to a graduation?
There you go. We're out here chasing money.
Oh yeah, I have been. I skipped out on mine too.
Yeah, me too.
You know, the past few years.
I was like, I'm
how
not
has it
doing
been
that.
for you? I know you had some ups and downs.
It's not that big of a deal to me.
It's been tough.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of
I had a
devastating
barbecue.
losses. I've been so close
Like
so many
that was
times.
more
I
fun
made
than
the
sitting in the
final
sun
I was gonna
for
say,
3
dude,
hours.
that's way better of a way to celebrate graduation, in my opinion.
That's awesome. That belt is.
I'd probably go to the
amazing.
tournament
There's a lot
too
of, you know,
if I
bling
qualified.
on
Yeah,
that belt
exactly.
Well, today EA Play.
I wasn't thinking about
first
tournaments
look
really
at the
for
Madden
any
19
game
trailer.
when I was his age.
Super
though.
excited. It's gonna be
Which
so
wasn't that
fun.
long
It's
ago.
lit.
I
honestly
but
wish
still.
I could stay right here and talk to you guys.
Just out of
forever,
high school,
but
it
I'm
wasn't
not
on my
gonna bore you
mind.
guys. We're gonna go out. I'm gonna try to take this belt. You know.
Oh no, when I was
round
getting out of
two.
high school,
So,
it was like
we're out.
job.
Have a good day.
Don't starve to death.
Yeah, I had to make money, which I mean, getting into these tournaments, even at a local level, there's always prize money involved. Especially with EA's circuits, they are good with. They are able to fund even the lower circuits.
Yeah.
The very top of the mountain. You battle through the pain and failure, all just to get to this place where you've been told legends are born. You fall so you can rise.
Well, they really put effort into finding a good narrator.
Yeah.
See that it was really never about reaching the end of the road at all, but about all the moments that got you here. So, if you were in their position,
The sound effects are incredible, but
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I have lots of friends who play Madden, and these sound effects aren't quite there. So I don't know if this is if they're revamping audio, or if they've really just decked out this trailer.
Yeah.
Well, as far as
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
gameplay footage
I'm
goes,
Canadian's
that didn't
professional
show very
shoutcaster
much.
here
Yeah, it was pretty
alongside
much all
Redwood
pre-rendered.
Studios General Manager Michael Martinez. How you doing today?
I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, we're gonna do this presentation a little bit differently.
No,
and give you your
not to
first
detract from
look
any
at a
football fans,
brand
but like I
new
was saying
mobile
before,
game in a live
the
winner
NHL
takes
games,
all
the hockey
head-to-head
games.
match. Michael,
Oh, yeah, they
why don't
did.
you tell us the rules?
Sure thing. The objective is straightforward. Destroy the opponent's base to win. Unit control, super simple. Just tap the destination, unit automatically moves there. The most efficient way to destroy the opponent's base is with
What?
this giant
Hold on, what?
nuclear missile
Yep,
in the
new
center of the
mobile
map.
game they're
Control the
talking
missile
about.
by standing on a majority of the control points. A bar fills up while the missile is possessed. Whoever controls the missile when the bar fills up will fire the missile. Takes 2 missiles to destroy the enemy's base and win. That's it.
Sounds great, Michael. Well, enough talking about it. Let's get to this match.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome matchup lined up for you here today. Fighting for the blue side of the room, if you could please give a cheer for one of the most formidable RTS players there is. Make some noise for In Control.
Okay, I am a massive Command & Conquer fan. This is not what I was expecting.
His opponent.
Yeah, okay, I was not
fighting for
expecting the
red
resurrection
side of the
on
room,
mobile.
A competitive mobile gaming phenomenon.
I really wish
Please
they would
join
stop
me in welcoming
resurrecting
to the
good
stage
titles on
Nick at
mobile
Night.
and then not really doing anything with them on like the main console.
Maybe they can change their ways here, but this is almost worse than the franchise. As a massive fan, this is almost. I want to see the game first, but initially my feeling is dread. This is almost worse than the franchise being dead.
Get this thing going.
Ready to go.
But let's see. Maybe this is a new day for EA Mobile.
Nice little strategy game for those of you out there. It's a good genre. I'm very excited for this. The players are loading in, and we are ready to
the
kick
match. Here we go.
this off. As the players' bases have been deployed and the action begins like any strategy game. Economy will be the focus. We have a harvester to start things off. Nothing too crazy yet.
Nothing too crazy.
Now the infantry is going to come out to hold that top point. Both players, of course, trying to take that position. Nick at Night being able to reach it a little bit first. In a strategy game, that flank position that In Control is going from the top side, also very important as Nick at Night's forces have to circle around the center.
Right, let's see if he's able to create a 2-on-1. Is he able to get there? Looks like he's getting there. Here comes GDI with a Rhino. It's going to rip up those infantry.
Yeah, going for the anti-infantry, and like any strategy game, the units that you're going to use when you deploy them will have a huge impact. Your micromanagement of your forces and protecting that economy as well.
Yep. Nick and Knight with some attack bikes in the top. There he is.
And In Control placing the turret on the top right side to help cover that Rhino as attack bikes move towards the northwest position. We can see that the missile is beginning to ready and firing that. That takes out half your base. The most important objective on the map is to hold those control zones.
Right, and In Control making a lot of progress to that far right side of the match.
Yeah, he's done a great job of holding that down with the turret.
I don't know what
and
to
now
feel.
He's redeploying his vehicles
Like,
to
it
the
looks
south side, bringing out more infantry to deal with the attack bikes. And
well, any good RTS game generally starts out a little slow.
Yeah.
You know, the action really doesn't come into like the mid-game,
right, absolutely. Again,
late game in a good matchup.
Yeah.
And In Control
So I won't say this is
hopeless.
What they have here.
To the south side, that missile passing halfway.
I don't know
now
about you
over
guys,
the
but this hurts.
He will have the missiles. We see it starts to
I'm
point.
trying to wait.
I used to be a pretty big fan of StarCraft.
In Control to get around
and
that top corner.
Yeah,
He'll hold that missile. He does contest the missile, putting it into the yellow position.
This in
Very important, of course, blocking the pathing of those units is another big
Oh, this is not.
Holding those locations is so
I wasn't
crucial.
sure if they
As
were
In
going to
Control
resurrect
begins to
Command and
secure the
Conquer.
northwest front,
I
another
didn't.
tank
If they
station
did,
out
I
front
did not
to
expect it
take
to be
out.
on
But now he's
mobile.
bringing out the pit
But
bulls
this
to help
isn't
lock
the
down
worst
that
thing I've
northwest
ever
missile is
seen.
very,
But this does
very
hurt.
close to firing.
As a
Let's see what's gonna
fan,
happen.
With
it
another
hurts.
turret, In Control flanks, he takes the top, that missile,
And that
fires. Off.
Wow.
And Nick at Night, one shot away from being knocked out here, as the next one will start to ready up in just a moment's time. In Control's very heady artillery forces are doing a great job at taking control of the map.
Yep.
Sorry.
And we can see as more of the
I had a
defensive
friend
forces
send me
move
a
up towards
really
that
good
north
joke.
position, those harvesters, of
He
course, very
said
crucial, very
even the
important to
EA
protect those
presenters
as your
can't stay
economy
off their
allows you to get
phones.
these big late game units. The units are going to come out slowly, more of them on the field. In Control,
Shout out to
spreading his
Karibo
forces
for
out
that
to
one.
hold this advantage that he's had so far.
Nick at Night is trying to get in there, but there's a great turret placement from In Control, blocking and just ripping through again those infantry.
And we see In Control now moving his tank towards
another drill pod.
Okay, I know this is pre-alpha, but I can't
bringing the flank, of
say
course,
I
the
see
flank guys do
long-term
amazing damage to the infantry, help to clean
replayability
that
in
out.
this.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
2 more tanks coming out from Nick at Night to try and secure
It looks
those
like it
positions.
has
Brings up the laser
potential to be
infantry on the
fun,
south side as well.
especially
Deal with
like
that
for
tank.
like couch
Going for
co-op or
counters,
like something
trying to scout out and see what your
for a
opponent
couple
is doing
nights.
and make the proper
But
response.
just based
So
on what I'm
important
seeing, it's
strategy.
Absolutely. Nick at
Too
Night
small,
cruising around, thinking about harassing those
opportunities for
harvesters,
building
coming
aren't
around
very
the
big.
far side
it
for
looks
those
like
rhinos.
it's going to be a
Looks
lot
like
of
he's
the
really
same,
pressing it.
right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's going to get very
Use
repetitive.
the optimized strategy.
Firing with 3 zones in
That's
control
exactly
for
how
Nick
these
at
games
Night,
boil down
looking
these
to
days.
set things back the other way. In
It's
control
like as
trying to
soon
round
as the
force, right? He doesn't want to
meta is
engage with just 1 or
established,
2
I
units.
mean,
He wants
that's
to move
it,
all
right?
of them together, create a good
Yeah, yeah, and usually the meta, I mean,
We're
is
seeing the
usually
first
the meta for a reason.
from
You
In
know,
Control.
there's,
This is the
it's
Wolverine.
hard to
Gonna
beat
rip
it,
that
even if you
missile,
know what to
watch out for
expect
this
in some
missile.
games.
And Nick at Night
It can be hard to deal with, especially if someone is really good at whatever the tactic or strategy
Next
is.
missile wins. Let's see what happens.
Will have control. The Wolverines, as you pointed out, for In Control coming out to try and deal with these forces. But Nick at Night's done a great job of getting map presence and now also harassing the economy.
I mean, this is like
Okay,
marching
we got our
out the
first mammoth
soulless
tank on the
husk of
board.
Command and Conquer
If
and
Control can
throwing
get this in position,
what's
he's
left
gonna
of
do
his
some
lifeless
serious
body on
damage.
stage and having
That
him dance
missile
around.
just passed halfway ready.
Yeah,
He's
that's,
also bringing out
I
his
was going to
first
say,
air
I
unit.
just actually made a
Deal with
comment to
those
someone else
going
that
on here.
this
Got
is
a lot of
a
range,
affront
that
to a
big boy,
genre
and
that didn't
In Control
deserve to
just
be
needs a
dragged
This
back to
missile
life
is
in this
nearly
way.
going to fire.
It
No,
can be
yeah,
still
yeah, dude, exactly.
Where's it going to go? Is he going to be able to get it off?
Got it, Max.
Not the worst
can't
mobile
behind-
game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I gotta give it to the host though. Like, that's some amazing hyping right there.
match.
They're just
Oh,
hyping.
he's trying.
so
I
hard.
mean,
Any thoughts, guys?
he's
I'm
trying.
amazed.
I just came to make mammoth tanks, so I've done my job. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the best narrator
Perfect.
and play
Let's hear
caller
it
in the
for
world
Nathanius.
can't
Nick at Night,
sell
In
me on
Control.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was hard to digest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That was really
what
hard
you
to
just saw
digest.
was the worldwide
I'm
reveal
sorry, Command and
of
Conquer.
Command and
You didn't
Conquer
deserve that.
Rivals.
Oh no, it was Command and Conquer.
Rivals.
Oh, I saw the Ally
real-time
logo.
strategy
That was
experience
Okay,
global.
I didn't see that.
The Ally.
Players complete
Yeah,
the
sorry. I should have mentioned it when I saw it.
Yeah, my bad. That totally went over my head.
Head-to-head matches.
I was actually focused on in control because I actually really like him. So it's like, oh, it's in control.
Coming to iOS and Android devices.
I'm not familiar with him at all.
That Android players can play the pre-alpha.
Hearthstone?
So head to the Google Play Store, search Command and Conquer Rivals.
Is he from? Does he play Hearthstone?
He plays RTSs of all kinds.
And we can't wait for you to
Oh, okay.
Please let us know what you think.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the RTS streaming community. or just a player base.
Oh. Huh.
You might know what this is before me, unless this is.
I'm pretty sure this is a trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Which just
rub salt into the wound a little bit.
This is so misleading.
Couldn't you given me Command and Conquer 5 instead? Like, please?
No, but you heard Andrew when he came out on stage. Mobile is the future. Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. No, don't put Kane. Oh my God, no.
No, Kane is gone. He's gone. Let him be gone.
No, I can't believe. Did they just march him out there at the end of the trailer like that?
We closed the show with a spectacular epic.
Yeah,
I wanted to
they
share
just took Command and Conquer out on stage and raped it. I mean, that's what we just watched.
To be able to work with some of the most creative people on the planet, who come to work every day to create amazing entertainment. And what I can say about all of those teams, and what I can say about us, is that we are always trying to learn and listen and strive to be better. And so, as you look at the 10 experiences that you're going to see today, and as you play games this week, there's some things we hope come through. First, that at the very core is choice, is that you as players get to choose how you play, what you play,
this is the kind of talk they
need
in between
that in making
SOS
those choices,
and
you
NBA.
feel you are treated fairly. That no one is given an unfair advantage or disadvantage for how they choose to play. That for every moment that you invest, we know that you put so much of your life into the games we make, and that for every moment that you invest, you feel like you are rewarded and you are given value for that investment.
Is it me, or is there just something, I don't know, not passionate about this guy, or just missing?
That truly enhance your lives.
Scripted.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It feels empty.
All the things
I like to. I act as a hobby, so
we want to be better.
I know what it feels like to be doing the script without any feeling.
And as much as we love making games, and as much as you love playing them, there's something that is even greater that we can do together. The power of this community when we come together to do amazing things is profound. Last weekend was the 3rd year of our Play to Give program, where we show the world how the power of play can be a positive force.
Whenever you guys are ready to show
impact.
Anthem.
Yeah.
Millions of you out there participated in 9 in-game challenges in our games, logging millions of hours in support of Play to Give. And to celebrate that, we contributed a total of $1 million to 3 charities that share our vision for a more inclusive world.
Charity's not bad.
A world where representation and equality are not something we strive for, they are the standards. And where bullying and exclusion are not an everyday thread. These 3 organizations, the United Nations He for She, PACE's National Bullying Prevention Center, and Ditch the Label, an anti-bullying organization, all are doing great work, and we're proud to support them through Play to Give. And thank you for your support. Thousands of us at EA and millions of you together doing immeasurable good because we love games. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for the incredible privilege of making games for all of you. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at Anthem.
Here we go.
All right. The real reason we're all here, I think.
The gods vanished and left our world in chaos, creating, altering.
Oh, those are totally not the Vandals.
Destroying. The anthem is all that remains.
There's a storm coming. These walls can't protect us forever.
That's totally not a Titan, guys.
No, it's definitely not.
Something is
destroy us all.
I'm so glad we're finally getting some clues to the gameplay here.
Yeah.
We're seeing elemental effects, different types of bombs.
Possibility that there may be some kind of underwater content that we can do based on that jetpack jump.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even from the initial trailer, I was expecting from the initial trailer they showed a whole, what appeared to be like a whole ruin underwater.
Yeah.
So I assumed that there was going to be some focus on underwater combat, or exploration at least.
So it looks like we got, what do you think, 4 classes?
It's hard to tell. They might just be using 4 as the cover, and there could be more, you know?
How cool was that trailer?
Yeah. I'm interested.
You guys have seen it a couple times, and it's still cool every time I see it. So I know all of you, like me, have had tons
There's a lot
of
of
questions
cuts. I was
about
kind of
Anthem
hoping
since
for a
last
single
year
shot
because we're all
of
BioWare
gameplay,
fans.
but I'll take
so
it.
We're going to do something a little bit different for the rest of the show, and we're going to take a deep dive into Anthem. So I'm going to bring out some members of the BioWare team
good.
to chat
Okay,
with
that's
us.
exactly what I was just
Please
saying.
give a warm welcome to Casey
All right,
Hudson,
that's pretty
Mark
cool.
Dara, and Kathleen
I'm into this.
I'm on board.
With more gameplay?
Please,
maybe?
please give gameplay.
Oh, Casey Hudson's here.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for coming out today. Just got a little game to show, right? Yep.
Lots
It's going to be very exciting. So Casey, we're going to go ahead and just jump right in and get started with you. So now we know that you all started, or Casey, you started your career at BioWare way back in the day, but you took a couple years off. But before you came back, you actually worked on Anthem before you left.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, first of all, it's amazing to be back. It's awesome to be making games for BioWare fans. You know, we have the best fans. So it's been super satisfying.
Do feel a little bit better with
him
him at least working there, even if he's taking orders from someone else.
And that's kind of where it started with Anthem, is just thinking about,
you know,
what is the
always
evolution of a BioWare game? And we wanted to create a brand new world for people to discover, you know, a whole new world of story and character. But we also wanted to do something that was, you know, more of a dynamic and living world, a game that would change every time you came back and played it. We also wanted to do something where, you know, if you wanted to invite your friends into it, then you could do that as well. So that was really the initial vision of the game, not an MMO, not a multiplayer game with stories sort of bolted on this side, but something new and different, and I think the team has really captured that vision over the years.
Your fans really love the stories from BioWare, but I think we're kind of curious how you're planning to make story work in this shared world.
That's a little bit of an understatement.
A great story for BioWare is really about characters that you can have a connection with, choices you get to make, and feeling like the story is about you. In a lot of multiplayer games, those things get diluted because you're mixing multiplayer and storytelling into the same areas. Now, you can build a solution to that, but you have to really build it into the core of the game. And that's what we've tried to do with Anthem. It's what we call our world, my story. So when you're out in the open world, the world is really dangerous, and you're focused on your mission. And this is where other players get to play with you. The thing that's really interesting about this, it's unique for Anthem, is that this is a living shared world.
I love the way that looks. Wow.
Weather,
that is amazing.
It's nighttime.
Even as a
what
screenshot.
We're experiencing
dynamic.
together. Everyone who's playing Anthem at a moment is seeing the same thing. And this is what we mean when we talk about our world. It's a shared world that we all experience together. But then when I finish my mission, I come back to a base like Fort Tarsus. And this is a single-player experience. I turn in my
a
rewards,
base, so
I talk
more
to some
than
characters, I experience the choices of my action. And this is where your story really lives.
So this sounds like they're doing open world instance.
And by doing it this way, we're able to combine that impact and agency of a single-player story with the fun
Okay, maybe
of
it is
teaming
4
up with your
classes.
friends to play co-op.
Yeah, that's what I
in
think
combat.
it's going to be.
And
4
we're also
classes,
designing it so that we can
which
add
hopefully
story
means
for
that they're
years
going to
to
not
come.
make the terrible mistake
So one of
Bungie
the
made,
first
and they're
things
going to
that
have
we
4
hear
party
when
members instead of 3.
from our community is they want to continue to play in our world.
That
when
was
they've
that was
finished
that's
Mass
still my
Effect or
biggest
Dragon
gripe with
Age,
Destiny. Is that
players
you can only have 3.
want more story, and so we've designed Anthem in a way that we can
No, I
actually
totally agree.
add more story for years to
If
come, and it could
anything,
be anything.
hopefully
New
BioWare
moment
has
with
looked
a
closely at
character that you've
Bungie
grown to
and
love,
Destiny as
or,
a roadmap
event
of
in the
what
world
not
that
to do.
deepens the lore, or
Like,
an entirely
even though
new storyline
it should be
and plot.
look at
the things.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
it's
certainly not
amazing.
going to complain about more story. I don't think anybody out there is going to either.
I really like
so
that
Kathleen, I wanted
concept
to
of
ask you,
storytelling,
from a writing
that
perspective,
instance
since you are the lead
storytelling.
writer, can you speak to what it's
Basically,
like to
yeah, it
create
means
a
you
new
get the
world
co-op
like Anthem
experience
from the
when you're out
beginning?
doing missions, but
Well,
then
what's
you
really
get to basically
exciting
take your sweet
for
time
us,
developing the story, just like a
and
Mass
not just
Effect
the
game
writers,
when
but
you're,
all of the
when you're back in the
devs, the
base.
designers, the artists, is that we're creating something new and mysterious for players to discover. So at the heart of the premise of Anthem is a world left unfinished by the gods. But the gods left behind their massive tools, and those tools are in constant conflict with this unknowable force called the Anthem of Creation. And the chaos of those things pushing against each other means that the world is constantly being reshaped in new and unpredictable ways.
Yeah, violent
really
storms, mutated creatures, gigantic monsters. It's a
I
dangerous
was
environment
not
that you need
worried.
to wear a suit of power
Of all the things
armor
I'm
or
worried about
javelin
this game, the
to
lore
be safe
and the
in.
world building
Now,
was
something
never
I think
one of
a lot
them.
of
Because
players
even in
out there
BioWare's
maybe
worst
don't stop to
moments,
think about
they
is
still
just
always
how much
have just
work
amazing
goes
world
into
building
creating
going on
a
all the
new
time.
intellectual property or IP, as we've
Yeah,
been
I
saying.
do agree about that.
Now,
Even
we've
with
seen all these
Andromeda's
different
flaws,
creatures, and Mark, you mentioned
I
the
thought they did a
storms.
pretty decent job
What's
of
the
at
process
least
of creating
getting
a
off to
game
an
like from
okay
scratch?
foot with a world
Yeah,
building.
it's something
and lore
we've done a
perspective
few
and
times at
genre.
I mean,
BioWare.
that is why I,
you know,
as
and
I've
really
been
the hardest
saying,
part is
suffered
getting
through some of the
started,
bad
just kind of
moments
getting
of
off the
Andromeda
blank
because I really
page.
wanted to see the story
So what
because I
we
was
try
still
to do is we
interested.
think about
I
the
still
new
was really
experiences that we're
hooked.
trying to unlock for players. So like, what is the fantasy fulfillment? What are the new things you actually get to go and do that are different from what you've played before? So that's where we start, and then once we think about those things, you know, that's the power of creating new IP, especially for games, is that you actually get to build a whole fictional universe that's meant to bring out a certain experience. And then once we do that, then we still need to build all the rest of the stuff, and what unlocks us creatively is to think about like principles around art style, tone, and even the technology and the politics of our new world. And then from there, we can actually go and build out every last detail.
Yeah, and one of the unique challenges for Anthem is that it's a world, an experience that's meant to feel alive, like it's happening right now. And so the world is always changing, whether the storms, seasons, and yeah, it's a really great concept to write for, because what it means is it gives us the opportunity to drop into the world, almost in real time, a dramatic event that changes the world for everyone. And that could be anything from gameplay to lore.
Yeah,
I mean, all of the
makes it seem
moving
like they're
parts
going to
of
be
the
changing
dynamic
like
world
the playable
sound
map
really cool
space
the way that
all
they
the time.
sound like they're going to come
in
together.
updates.
But even though there's
With world
obviously a lot
events.
going on, it really all comes back to your character. So
That could
let's
be
talk
very
about who we're going to be playing as and why we're fighting
It's a
these
lot
crazy
to
beasts.
balance.
So you are a freelancer, uniquely skilled to pilot these Javelin exosuits. And you need those suits to survive and fight in this world, because the world will kill you. But on top of that, our ancient rivals, the Dominion, have they've discovered a way, they think, to weaponize the Anthem of Creation. And so we need to stop them and protect the free people of Tarsus.
Now, I've heard you call this power armor a couple different things. Is it a suit? Is it a javelin? Like, what's the canon term here?
We call them javelins, and there are 4.
4 classes.
And they each have unique abilities. There's the Ranger, and then there's the Colossus, the Interceptor, and
okay,
finally
so they basically
the Storm.
took the Hunter and split it in half.
Yeah, so each javelin gives you a different way to play the game. But the thing to remember is, like Kathleen said, you're not your suit. You are a freelancer, a pilot, which means you can decide which suit you want to use based on your mood, based on the mission you want to engage it, or the javelins
so it looks like
that
they took
your
a
friends
great
are
idea
using.
from Warframe.
So
Yes,
really
I
what
was
this
actually
allows us
just
to do
thinking
is
that.
we built the suits to look like they're built from the materials of the world. So they each have their own unique abilities. So let's take a look at the Ranger now. The Ranger is a more generalized suit, able to do a lot of different things.
I'm loving the aerial combat.
Really designed for up close and personal combat, one-on-one for the most part. The Colossus is heavier, more specialized, but able to really pack in big weapons that let them devastate the battlefield.
You see, this is what the Titan should have looked like.
I'm just going to say the Storm looks like it's going to be my favorite. I'm sure you guys out there are picking your faves right now, too. So the Javelins look awesome, but we're going to take a couple questions right now. So Casey tweeted, some of you may have seen, asking for people out there to send us your questions.
Whoa.
And the first one is going to be from
you guys are we not going to talk about the other two?
As a player who is all about making their character their own, what kind of customization options will be available in Anthem?
That's actually would
really
be my
want
question.
players to express
With
themselves,
only
both
4
through
suits,
customizing
I'm
the way
hoping there's a lot of
their
changeable parts.
Javelin plays through gear and weapons.
Definitely paints.
But also being able to personalize the way that it looks,
baller.
both through paint jobs as well as changing the actual geometry of the suit itself.
Hey,
we want teams to be able to do this as well.
You can't
and
just throw that in
because
there
you're
like
going to be using
that.
a javelin
That's
for a
Shepard's
long
armor.
period of time, we really want you to be able to make it your own.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually, Jay Legato has a question connected to customization. Monetization. How, when, loot box, cosmetics.
Oh,
Yeah, so
right up front
we
with
are
it.
going to
Alright.
have some cosmetics and vanity items that you'll be able to purchase, but you're always going to know what you're going to buy before
No loot
you
boxes?
spend any money
Yes.
on it. So
That's
no
good.
loot boxes,
Oh,
no
yes.
ability to pay for power. So that
Thank
means
God.
no ability to spend money on gameplay advantage at all within
I'm
Anthem.
completely okay with
But even
spending
more
money on
important than that, we wanna
cosmetics
make
as long
sure
as
that
I know what I'm
Anthem
getting.
is an immersive experience.
And
that
there's,
feels
and
like
there's enough
it's
in
complete
the
from
game
get-go.
that I'm not
So that means
forced.
the main story, a big
For
open
me anyway,
world,
I
and an
don't want to be
ongoing
forced
service
to
that provides new
buy
content
skins and
for a
stuff
long period
just
of time.
because
New
they're not
story,
in the
new-
game.
New
Yeah.
experiences for everyone.
No,
Well, I'm
I
glad
was,
to hear
as
that
long
I
as I
can
know
make
what
my
I'm
javelin
buying, I'm
pink.
happy
That's
paying.
what I wanted to know, I'm going to be
I
honest.
don't like random
All right,
rolls.
Casey. We talked earlier about this being
Like,
a
like
co-op
we were just saying,
experience.
Destiny
So
is
can you
the
tell me a little bit
roadmap
about
of
how
what
the
not to
team
do.
gameplay
And all that
is gonna
orange,
work?
all that
it
RNG
really
is
is
so
about
bad.
you know the fun of teaming up as a team of superheroes and working together. So you want to get a few people together of different classes. So I think here we're going to see the Colossus, just hammering people on the ground in gameplay. If we can have a look at that. So heavy artillery, being really strong,
The
in
heavy
melee
weapons
combat.
in this game for some
and then
reason,
here you've got the
for me,
Ranger
seem like
shooting
they're
down
gonna
from
be, like,
above, and then
really
they're
over
using
the top in this game.
combos and special
I
abilities.
think they're going to
and
be over
stuff
the
like
top,
that.
but I'm sure they're
But
going to
what I
limit them by
love
ammunition
is
or
you don't just
something
run
to
around,
make
you're
them a little
swimming
more
and
balanced.
flying as well.
So it's interesting because at the Slate Tones wants to know, how will you balance
question.
multiplayer with single-player storytelling?
So Anthem's really built around trying to combine the impact of having your own personal story with the fun of playing with other players. But we really want to make sure that that playing with other people feels like a choice. So for people that want to just experience the story, you're going to be able to do that. Now going out into an open world like this, by yourself is going to be a little bit more challenging than if the team of 4 people. And we've really tried to balance the co-op experience to be fun even for people that don't normally engage in this kind of thing. So I really hope that everyone at least gives co-op a try.
We're going to have some mini
Okay,
games
that's good to
outside
know.
the
If
suit.
you want to
That'd be
roll
pretty cool.
solo, you can, but it's
That
just
sounds
gonna
like
be a little
fun.
bit more difficult. Well, I know you all are on the edges of your seats. How about we show a little gameplay? Yeah?
Yes.
You guys
Yes,
got that?
please.
All right, so Kathleen, I think you're going to set this up for us?
I will. So, you and your friends have decided to play a mission called Scars and Villainy. The Scars have put together an acid-based super weapon, so you got to take them out. So you start in the Strider, which is like a giant walker, and it's your forward base of
Jeez,
operations.
you kind of deliver
You
a little
have a conversation
ham-fisted
with
there.
your crew, Halleck, Faye, and
They've got
Owen,
acid
and you'll
weapons,
hear
gotta
Owen.
take
He's
'em
going to talk us through the mission as we experience it here. And yeah, then you just get into your javelin suit and you head out with your friends.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark, Casey, Kathleen, for talking to me about Anthem today. We're going to go ahead and roll the gameplay now.
All right,
Enjoy,
let's see it.
everybody.
Oh, damn.
I'm still really curious about those things, because we saw them in the first trailer.
Freelancer, time to get to work. Faye said these bastards made some kind of acid. They're using it as a weapon. So, find where they're making this garbage and shut it all down.
Mobile command center, maybe?
Mm-hmm. That's what they said, forward operations.
gotta have a place to put all your stuff.
So it looks like we're getting this from the Colossus point of view. I think they're going to switch it up throughout the...
I wonder if the other suits are like a lot faster when it comes to like mobility and airspeed, you know what I mean?
What's the plan here?
Picking up loads of scars nearby. Take a look around the area, but be careful.
Oh yeah, they're changing perspective.
So it looks like we got a bunch of Colossi and then a Ranger.
Checking out the Scar Camp some more.
I don't think they're going to show us anything from the Interceptor and the Storm, which is super disappointing.
Yeah, I really wanted to see the Storm.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what they did with the Interceptor, because, like, you know, when you're looking at classes, right, you know, the Hunter looks a lot like the Ranger. You know, you have a lot of similarities. You have focus on range combat, focus on mobility. And then the Interceptor looks like it could be like similar to the Arc Strider spec from Destiny 2. You know, focus on mobility, melee, close range combat, and stuff like that. And then, you know, they're just giving us, you know, I am heavy weapons guy, and, you know, you're all rounder. Oh, that's cool. You can block the mines.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, you got a nice point man effect going on there.
There's a Shaper relic. Wait, something's odd. Get a closer look, would you? See those radiant pieces of energy? They're echoes from the Anthem of Creation. Loads of scars nearby. Be careful.
Mind if I drop in?
Oh, they've got a lot better aim control for skills.
Return them to the relic. You've got to silence it fast. It's gone silent. Disaster averted. Do you think we get a bonus for... Wait, something's happening.
What the hell was that?
I think that was whatever laid all the eggs around here. The sound came from below your position. On the plus side, this definitely counts toward hazard pay. There's a trail of this acid gunk leading down. Follow it, and we should find the source.
Oh, there's our Storm.
Nice.
There we go.
Only get a peek, though.
Yep. Oh, shit.
Oh, come on.
Of course.
You tease. That's just wrong.
How cool was that? I'm so hyped, you guys.
Yep, and that was actually just a short version of the full demo that we brought here to LA. So if you want to come by the Anthem Theater here at EA Play, you can check out the game live.
So I'm sure the question on everyone's minds, when do we get to play?
So Anthem comes out February 22nd, 2019 on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
So mark your calendars, everybody. Fire off your tweets.
Yeah.
But
Thank you
only
so
because
much
I
again
have
to
developed
Casey, the
great
entire
patience.
BioWare team. I know you guys have that awesome theater outside, so I will see you guys there.
All right.
Give
see
it
you
up
there.
for Casey Hudson, everybody.
No, I'm really jealous of Leo.
I also want to give a big thank you to all of the developers who showcased their games today and everybody working hard at their studios.
Yeah,
back
getting a
home
front row seat to
around
this
the
is
world. Let's give
pretty
them all
amazing.
a round of applause. Now, some of what you saw today, you guys have to wait to play. But you guys, EA has so much available right now. Now, for those of you keeping score, you can get your free trial of FIFA 18's World Cup today. And Andrew told us about the free trial of Origin Access. Yarny is back with a buddy in Unravel 2, which is also available today. Plus, you can take on your friends in Command & Conquer Rivals.
I tried to forget about
today
Command &
as
Conquer
well.
Rivals.
Why'd they remind us?
Yeah, you had to remind
out
me.
today. Is anybody ready to go home and download anything? No? You're like, I just want to go outside into the fan fest. I get it. I get it. So I want to let you guys know to keep your streams going because in just a few moments, the
I
FIFA
really
18
appreciate her
World Cup
keeping her
live
upbeat
tournament
attitude
is going
when
to
she
begin.
knows this
I'm
is
gonna
probably
head
a
outside
room
and
full
check
of
out the
people with
games,
high
but I want to
expectations.
thank everybody for coming down to EA
Oh yeah,
today and watching
she's
the
doing
press
very
conference.
good.
Yeah.
I've never
Have
seen
a
her.
great weekend.
She looks familiar to me, and
that was
seemed
a
like I
very
should
good
know who
presenter.
she is. Yeah, very good presenter. It's a crowd of high expectations, and I think it's a tough crowd right now too. Like they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants to be impressed by EA.
I mean, yeah. Did you see the reactions for Battlefield 5?
Exactly.
I think the most community involvement we got from the audience in this whole thing was Unravel 2 and Anthem.
I think I heard some cheering and clapping for SOS too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course. That was also a supremely
But
good title.
I think everyone is going through the same kind of effect from all the tonal changes.
Welcome back to the
All
stream.
right.
Now, I know the FIFA 19 was exciting. We saw that trailer. Champions League is coming.
Well, if that's the majority of what EA's got to show, it wasn't a bad showing, I don't think.
No.
But the changes in tone, my head still hurts. I have to be honest.
Yeah, it was a
I felt
little
like
jarring.
Yeah, I felt like they could have definitely tried to make it a lot less, what's the word for it? Non sequitur. You know, we just such rapid gear shifts. It was just rough at some spots.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, what do you guys think? Was it better than you expected?
What they had to say in regards to the future of some games like Battlefront 2, Anthem, and just the direction it seems that they want to take, it seems honest. I like that they came out right during Battlefront 2 and said, we know we screwed this up, like right out the gate. At the same time, I also remember having a similar feeling last year when they announced that Battlefront 2 was not going to have a season pass or any of that crap that no one wants. So this is kind of the same feeling I had last year, and so I can't really say I'm any more optimistic about EA. Unravel, the games I liked most were not really EA's making, Unravel 2 and SOS and all of that. And, Anthem obviously is BioWare's game with lots of support from EA, but it's still BioWare's game.
Yeah. Absolutely. What about you, Jeds? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Basically, what I think about the early stuff, like your Battlefield 5, your Battlefront 2 talks, those really remind me of the feelings I've had basically about EA for the last couple years now, really. And that's that I'm gonna keep holding out hope for you. It's kind of like that relationship where you look at a friend of yours and you say, I know you can change, but I just don't think you will. So I guess the way to describe it is I hold out hope that maybe they'll get it right this time, that maybe they'll really actually implement what they've learned and that they won't do cash grabs and they won't make it worse. But I'm not getting on the hype train. I didn't get on the hype train for Battlefront 2. Basically when that beta came out and everyone saw just the disaster of the progression and the loot boxing, that was like literally the first moment that I even saw any Battlefront 2 content, and I was like, well, it looks like I'm never buying this unless it goes on sale for like $5.
Yeah.
Right. And so, that's where we're at with most of what EA itself is putting out, like the direct development stuff is, I'm just looking at it, I'm going, maybe you'll get it right, but I refuse to get on the hype train anymore with a lot of what DICE is working on. The fact that they're doing no loot boxes, no season pass for Battlefield 5 is like, it gives me a lot of hope that they're going to get it right. But at the same time, it really gives me this taste in my mouth that I'm like, this feels way too good to be true. Like way too good. Like,
I know what
you're
you
going
mean.
to charge $60 for a game and you're not going to drop a season pass trying to double the cost of your game. You're not going to do anything of that nature. How are you gonna how are you gonna squeeze that EA level of monetization out of things? And it really worries me. But on the other hand, like their originals are really shockingly good. Like the indie game industry has had its good moments and its bad moments recently with like, the whole fiasco of how Steam Greenlight has really burned a lot of people on early access and indie titles. But then, you see something like Unraveled 2 and it's just like there are some great things out there coming from indie developers. And then obviously Sea of Solitude, like those two easily took the top slots for what I saw at this thing. And obviously, I was sufficiently impressed with Anthem, but I was ultimately disappointed that we didn't get like full class discussions. We got the Colossus, we got the Ranger. So we got like, 25% more than we got from that reveal teaser where we saw the Ranger doing stuff already. So we got an extra class, but like, I just really, really want to see what they're going to do with the other two javelins that they are discussing already, the Storm and the Interceptor. But ultimately, I thought it was I was really impressed with the second half of the conference. I thought that they could have done better with their transitions and like the positioning of where they put the speeches and the gameplay. That brief intervention of Madden and the new basketball title they're dropping. I feel like that really took me out of it. I think that they should have put that, with the rest of the sports titles, but it's their choice. But ultimately, I give it a 7 out of 10 on just presentation, quality, and titles.
For sure.
Hey.
Hey, Leo, we're just wrapping up the stream real quick. So
yeah,
my impressions were I've talked about this on the podcast before and my really low expectations for EA. So I was actually more impressed with this conference than I thought I was going to be. Once again, we talked about Unraveled 2 and SOS. I'm really looking forward to those. Battlefield 5 looks really good, and that intrigues me. So I think that's a game I'm gonna keep my eye on.
I will find out today by playing it. So, yeah.
And as far as the Anthem footage went, like I mean,
it's great.
I'm super excited about the. I'm excited about it. Once again, I'm carefully optimistic, especially when it comes to EA and a game this size and what all we're exactly gonna have to pay. But it seems like they're being genuine about their cosmetics and stuff. So yeah, with that, you know, I'm leaving more cautiously optimistic than I thought I would be, but that still doesn't mean much compared to my previous thoughts.
Okay, let me guys ask you this question. If you have to rate this conference on a scale from, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever, what would you guys rate it?
I'm going to go with 1 out of 10, and I'm going to give, like, a 1 out of 10 system, and I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Okay.
I think it's a solid C-. It's average. Could have done better. I didn't like the, like I said, the transitions really pulled me out of some of the really cool games there, which really sucked.
Absolutely.
Jazz, what do you think?
As I said, I gave it a 7 because I was really happy with what I got from Anthem, and I was very impressed with the indie titles that they introduced. But the big things that took away points was at the very beginning, like I wasn't really impressed with how little they gave us on the Battlefront and the Battlefield titles. I felt like they could have given us a lot more information about how they're going to tackle things, because obviously, like Battlefield, they're going to monetize it. Battlefield has always been a game that you get a main release and a season pass, and the fact that they're just not telling us what their new monetization strategy is really worried me. So that cost them a big 2 points, and then the jarring transitions cost them another. So, like I said, a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, those transitions or lack of transitions hurt me way more. I don't think I've ever really thought about transitions in a conference before, especially the way that I'm thinking about it right now. And also, right in the beginning, the reveal for Respawn's Star Wars title, I mean, that was lackluster is an understatement. That was a terrible way to...
That was really bad.
That was a terrible way to show what Respawn is working on, especially for a Star Wars title. That was awkward. The guy seemed unprepared, and it was just a very awkward way of doing
felt forced.
that. It felt so forced.
Yeah, very forced.
I agree. And I was hoping, dude, like, if you're gonna show a Star Wars game or even talk about it, like, put it on stage, not on a fucking...
Exactly, yes.
Not on a fucking seat, dude. Like, what the... Dude, that's kind of, like, disrespectful, man.
That's how I felt. It felt like... Yeah, it felt very last minute, and it felt a little disrespectful. So it was a very bad start, and not until they got to the EA originals for me did it really start to change. And then right when, you know, I was kind of starting to feel some genuine hype and start to really get absorbed into the conference, all of a sudden out of nowhere, those really rough transitions or lack of transitions started happening. And it was just, you know, that unraveled an SOS right into the football games, and then Andrew Wilson's back on stage talking again, and then it's right into another game, and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, it's Anthem time. And it's like, what? So,
yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And honestly, dude, like for me, I watched the whole thing with you guys. I was in a car, and I was watching it on my phone, and then I got into my hotel room. I was watching it here, and basically, I liked, you know, I wanted to see Anthem. That's what I really cared about, and I saw what I wanted to see. I'm pretty happy about it. I like the way it looks. I like the what's going on with it. And actually, the February release date actually really surprised me. It's earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
So props on that.
Yeah, we
I
were
can't wait
guessing
to
like
play that
into
game.
March, right?
Yeah, it was gonna be March, but it came out. Dude, the game comes out 3 days before my birthday. Like it's kind of funny.
Fun.
So, but anyway, basically, I'm pretty excited for that. Unravel 2 looked pretty good. I didn't play the first one, but I think it's a solid game to add to the lineup. I didn't get to see SOS because I wasn't able to look at it at the time, so I have no opinion on that. Command and Conquer, that was, dude, that was like.
Oh,
That was like, hey guys, we know you like this franchise a lot, and I know, and we know we fucked it up before, but I'm gonna rub it in your face again and fuck it up again.
you
Is
know
what that
what?
was.
exactly
I
how it
need to
felt.
jump back. I need to jump back in. That's right. I completely like blocked it out of my mind already that they showed us a Command and Conquer mobile title. I'm gonna have to
man.
change my score to like a 5, like a flat 5, because I was a huge Command and Conquer fan. I've been playing them since they started coming out.
Same here.
Like
I still play
just
'em.
like this shift to mobile, like taking great franchises that are like dying and shoving them into mobile as an attempt to revive them is just crushing me as a gamer. It's like, what are you doing? You're taking like my childhood best friend out and you're just
Beating
mugging
him.
him for all he's worth, and I can't watch it anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, man. For me, this conference is like a 4. Honestly, dude.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. It's like, dude, this. It would have been good enough, like, if they had like a separate press event just for Anthem, and I wouldn't give two shits what else they announced. So, to be honest, I was also hoping to see Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 3, but I guess not. I don't know, man. I think it was a lack of games too.
Yeah.
There was like no
definitely lack of games.
Yeah, there was
you got
no,
what you
like-
expected plus the 2 EA originals, and that was everything else is pretty much
Yeah,
as
I was
expected.
like at least maybe expecting another Need for Speed or something. I don't know.
Okay, the Command and Conquer wasn't expected, and I'm not happy. I feel like they just brought a lifeless corpse out on stage and raped
Yeah,
it.
that's
Like
what exactly what it was.
I mean, that was digital necrophilia. That's what we just watched for Command and Conquer.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, it was. And they
I
trotted
can
that
guarantee you
nice
that
little
Microsoft
animation
is gonna. I can guarantee you that Microsoft is gonna do better with Age of Empires 4. Trust me.
I mean, I also wonder if maybe some Anthem footage is being sprinkled around from Microsoft and Sony, you know, because they did that last year too.
I would probably say
I think
Sony
Sony got a
Microsoft.
sliver, Microsoft got a big chunk of Anthem, so maybe there's more Anthem to come later on.
Probably Microsoft mostly, dude, because
But
they have
even
the
then, you
marketing.
can't. Yeah, exactly. But even then, that doesn't affect EA's conference one bit. Yeah, for me, 5.5, and it's only because I feel like I got a satisfying slice of Anthem. I like that they are reaching out to the whole EA Originals program. I like that they gave Joseph and his team from A Way Out, you know, a little bigger of a studio. Hopefully, the bigger studio does not come with bigger influence. You know, hopefully
Right.
they kind of just help them out and leave them alone, sort of things. I think that's what they need to do is start leaving their developers alone.
Yeah.
And
that's
you
a
know, for
huge
all the
leap.
franchises that they have, you know, sitting on a shelf that are pretty much dead, I was really hoping they would bring one of them back. And being that they brought back Command and Conquer the way they did, I mean, that I'm still mind blown by that. Like,
Yeah.
I really am. If
It's
it
like
wasn't
having
for
a
the
bad
two-
nightmare, dude. But
If
it's
it wasn't
a
for the
reality,
two EA
unfortunately.
originals, it'd be like a 2 or 3 out of 10 for me. And then you had those transitions on top of all of that, and the Star Wars reveal. It was 5.5 is generous, I think. So I think below a 5, I would say is an utter failure. And I won't say this is an utter failure, but I mean like it's just barely not a failure. Like
Dude, you know what I don't get? It's like, why are you guys even bothering to announce the Star Wars Respawn game when we already knew that was gonna happen anyway? Like, if you're gonna talk about it again, talk about it when you have something to show. Like, what the fuck? Telling me it's gonna come out the holiday next year, I don't give a shit. I really don't.
Exactly. Do you know how much is happening in between now and
Yeah.
holiday next
A lot.
year? Like exactly, a lot has happened.
Yeah,
Like, there's
too
so
much.
many major releases and small releases
Yeah.
in between. Then, like to say like, oh yeah, we have a Star Wars game coming out next holiday season is like, what's the point? There was no
Thanks,
need for
guys.
that. There was no need for
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it
thanks.
felt almost like maybe they were obligated for some reason to
Yeah,
say
the reason being that they
something.
killed Visceral and ended another Star Wars project. That was probably their
maybe
reasoning.
maybe Disney wanted something, but even then, like,
yeah, I don't know.
If Disney was watching that and they were like really expecting to see what EA is working on themselves, you know, in a way, I can't imagine they're too happy. Maybe with the Battlefront 2 stuff. 'Cause I like how they came out on stage with Battlefront 2 and said, "Yeah, we know we screwed up, and you know we are determined to salvage what we can." So. You know, look at all we're doing. We're changing the progression system, new maps, new weapons, new characters, new game modes. So the effort is there, but considering how bad the initial game was, I mean, it's good. It's just like the original was so bad that no matter what you do, the damage is already done.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's literally nowhere to go but up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like you guys at this point you can only go up.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, this is a 5.5 for me. So like, for me, below a 5 is a failure, and I don't think this is a failure. But oof, I mean that line. If I was in a bad mood, this might be like a 3.
Yeah, if I had missed my morning coffee before tuning in, this would not have done as well. But luckily, I was awake, alive, and moderately coherent.
This is E3. I mean, it's supposed to be a happy time for gamers. Kind of like Christmas in some ways.
This is Christmas for gamers. What are you talking about?
Sometimes doesn't feel like it with these types of press conferences.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're dealing with EA, who's gotten so much negative press conference lately, they're trying to come in and they're trying to break the stigma about them, and that's basically their sole
totally.
goal.
That's what I was saying.
You can't just come in excited to celebrate and do all that jazz. You got to really make sure that you're, you know what I mean? I feel like what they have is like every guy on their stage has like a list of check boxes. Like, okay, whatever you say, don't say loot boxes, don't say season pass.
Yep.
Talk about how proud you are of your dev team. And make sure you say that. Also mention the word inclusive at least once. Like what their whole focus is trying to make sure that the negative stigma around like basically the last 365 days, let's face it, the last 2 years of EA development cycle. It's just like, let's help people forget that and let's move on. And
yeah, they're
really
going about it in just a slightly corporate way for me. And I think that's the problem, is that like people look at them more as a corporation rather than like a group of developers, under one umbrella. And when you have, like you said, they come out there and they're all, and like you said, they got their check boxes and words that they're clearly avoiding and things that they are all kind of repeating, no matter who's on stage. Yeah, it does feel a little corporate and a little more the same. I remember having that same feeling last year of like, what they said made me hopeful. They said the right things, but their actions will determine whether their words carry any weight. And it's a familiar thing. And even like Luke said, the presenter was really good. She was doing a really good job of trying to keep the show moving forward, keep the tempo up, not let that dread set in. And it was a tough. It's EA, first of all. No one wants to like them because they've earned every ounce of negativity they have right now. Mm-hmm. So she even with her up there doing as good as she was doing, it was still like, you could imagine if they had a less talented presenter, how bad this all would have went.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I completely agree. And it's like, yeah, you were like you were mentioning, I'd completely blocked out the Command and Conquer thing. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like every time I guess EA in my mind comes up, I'm just like, meh. And that's kind of what this conference was, just meh. It was C-.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it was like, I was happy to see some things, and the rest of it was like, and I understand, especially with like the sports stuff, while that's not my thing at all, I understand why they have to show it off. It's like, that's their literally their, you know, pot of gold. So, but yeah, it was just like, I just wish we had, yeah, it seemed like there was such a lack of anything new. I know we got the a couple of things, but yeah, it seemed way more focused on, okay, here's how we're gonna fix all the things that we have right now, which is good, and that's a nice admission that it's like, okay, you know, yeah, this is you know, especially with like the Battlefront stuff. But yeah, it was just like, you know, I wish they would have even like, you know, cut out all the Star Wars stuff altogether, which I'm sure they couldn't because Disney, but, you know, and just showed us some, you know, so I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to say with them what they can and can't do with certain stuff, but yeah, for me, just as a gamer, I was just, yeah, it was just so underwhelming.
And I'm sitting over here waiting for them to say anything about a new Dragon Age game, which we all know isn't going to happen for quite some time, but, you know.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure they actually do have something in the oven right now for Dragon Age, but whether or not BioWare will survive long enough to finish it.
Yeah, that's what has me.
That's the question.
With the white knuckle grip, I love Dragon Age Inquisition, and I thought the first 3 Mass Effect titles were beautiful, even though 3 had its flaws. And like I said, as we discussed earlier in the stream, I felt that Andromeda is a very much of a diamond in the rough, where it has a lot of real problems that you can't ignore in the game, but like it has potential, and it did. And I think one of the biggest mistakes they did was just completely abandoning the game and saying, we're not going to fix it, we're not even going to try, we're just going to move on. And I think that was one of their biggest mistakes.
You nailed it, yeah, because I look at...
real quick.
Hey, what's up, Leo?
Sorry, my food just got here, dude. I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna head out to EA Play. I just wanted to say thank you guys for getting here on time. That was great. I think you guys did awesome. So props to everybody.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. I can't wait for tomorrow, man. Tomorrow is gonna be an amazing. Of course the day after.
Is that your first meal in LA?
Yeah, dude, it is my first meal in LA, dude. I've been hungry. It's a 5-hour flight. I haven't eaten since. I gotta get going.
All right,
man. Enjoy.
Go eat, man.
All right, dude. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in a bit. By the way, real quick, if you guys maybe want to like write something about it, like in an article form, feel free. Like write your overall impressions or something like that. Like you guys kind of discussed your grades. Maybe you could like do just an idea, like one article, and everyone just kind of puts in their own little paragraph or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. Would you want to do like a short video review on top, because it seems like we all have a lot to say about it. It might make a good like
you could do a video review
like a
really
video review kind of
before
that'd be up to the other two, obviously.
Yeah, before we get into all that, before we wrap up the stream, I want to know if there's anybody's final words before Leo has to take off.
I think I've really said everything I've got.
All right, Adam, you think you're?
Yeah, for right now, yeah, it's a short review, 5.5 for me, and overall, my head still hurts from the transitions.
Got a headache, man.
Yep.
I mean, Anthem, I want to see Anthem, man. I can't wait for the theater, dude. That's all I can say. Other than that, don't care about anything else.
Yep.
That's kind of it. Battlefront 2, well, that train has sailed a long time ago. And with Battlefield 5 coming out, I don't think anyone really is going to be giving 2 shits about that game. I'm sorry to say, dude. Too late, too little.
Yep.
So, whatever.
It's also kind of funny how when DICE came out and said, you know, we have this thing that you've all been really waiting to hear about Battlefield 5, it's Royale. They said that so, like they were waiting for people to start throwing stuff at stage. Like, they knew no one wanted to hear that.
Yep.
Maybe I'm sure some people did.
I mean, there was definitely like a significant portion of the populace in that room. I definitely heard an excited reaction. I heard it.
Yeah.
I felt it, and I cringed knowing that the battle royale genre will not do what it needs to do and just like stabilize. It's gonna change. It's gonna get wonky. It's gonna get ugly, and no one's gonna have fun with it until it's done growing.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
This is the growing pains phase for battle royales, right? Now that the AAAs are picking it up, it's going to get real weird, and we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And of course, anybody who tuned in, I saw a couple of my buddies tuning in. So thank you so much for hanging out with us during EA Play. Don't forget, tomorrow we have Microsoft. We're going to be right here doing the same thing at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time and 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So come check that out. And then after that, we got Bethesda coming up at we'll be here at 6 o'clock Pacific time and 9 o'clock Eastern time. The stream's going to go live just a little bit before the conferences actually start. And then, of course, we have Sony coming up on June 11th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time and 8:30 p.m. or sorry, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time and 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you all again so much for watching, and thank you guys again for joining me. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to talk more about it with you tomorrow.
Same here. Definitely exciting time.
All right, peace out, everybody.